Chapter 7 Structure Organization in Animals. In the preceding chapter, you came across a large variety of various organisms, both unicellular and multicellular, of the animal kingdom. In unicellular organisms, all functions like digestion, respiration, and reproduction are performed by a single cell. In the complex body of multicellular animals, the same basic functions are carried out by different groups of cells in a well organized manner. The body of a simple organism like Hydra is made up of different types of cell, and the number of cells in each type can be in thousand. The human body is composed of billions of cells to perform various functions. How do these cells in the body work together? In multicellular animals, a group of similar cells along with intercellular substance perform a specific function. Such an organization is called tissue. You may be surprised to know that all complex animal consist of only four basic type of tissue. These tissue are organized in specific proportion and pattern to form an organ like stomach, lung, heart, and kidney. When two or more organs perform a common function by their physical and or chemical interaction, they together form organ system. Example: digestive system, respiratory system, etc. Cells, tissue, organ, and organ system split up the work in a way that exhibit division of labor and contribute to the survival of the body as whole. 7.1 Animal tissue. The structure of cells vary according to their function. Therefore the tissue are different and are broadly classified into four types: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, and muscular and neural. 7.11 Epithelial tissue. We commonly refer to an epithelial tissue as epithelium. This tissue has a free surface which faces either a body fluid or the outside environment, and thus provide a covering or lining for some part of the body. The cells are compactly packed with intercellular matrix. There are two types of epithelial tissue, namely simple epithelium and compound epithelium. Simple epithelium is composed of a single layer of cells and function as a lining for body cavity, ducts, and tube. The compound epithelium consists of two or more cell layers and has protective function as it does in our skin. On the basis of structural modification of the cell, simple epithelium is further divided into three types. These are squamous, cuboidal, and columnar, that is given in figure 7.1. Figure 7.1 Simple epithelium, squamous, cuboidal, columnar. D. Columnar cells bearing cilia. The squamous epithelium is made of a single thin layer of flattened cells with irregular boundaries. They are found in the walls of blood vessels and air sacs of lungs and are involved in function like forming a diffusion boundary. The cuboidal epithelium is composed of a single layer of cube-like cell. This is commonly found in ducts of gland and tubular parts of nephron in kidneys, and its main function are secretion and absorption. The epithelium of proximal convoluted tubule (PCT) of nephron in the kidney has microvilli. The columnar epithelium is composed of single layer of tall and slender cells. Their nuclei are located at the base. Free surface may have microvilli. They are found in the lining of stomach and intestine and help in secretion and absorption. If the columnar or cuboidal cells bear cilia on their free surface, they are called ciliated epithelium, that is given in figure 7.1d. Their function is to move particles or mucus in a specific direction over the epithelium. They are mainly present in the inner surface of hollow organs like bronchioles and fallopian tubules. Some of the columnar or cuboidal cells get specialized for secretion and are called glandular epithelium. They are of mainly two types: unicellular consisting of isolated glandular cells, that is also called as goblet cells of the alimentary canal, and multicellular consisting of clusters of cells, that is salivary gland. On the basis of mode of pouring of their secretion, glands are divided into two categories, namely exocrine and endocrine. Exocrine glands secrete mucus, saliva, earwax, oil, milk, digestive enzymes, and other cells products. These products are released through ducts or tube. In contrast, Endocrine glands do not have ducts. Their products called hormones are secreted directly into fluid bathing the gland. Compound epithelium is made up of more than one layer, that is multi-layered of cells, and thus has a limited role in secretion and absorption, that is given in figure 7.3. Their main function is to provide protection against chemical and mechanical stress. They cover the dry surface of the skin, the moist surface of buccal cavity, pharynx, inner lining of ducts of salivary gland, and of pancreatic duct. All cells in epithelium are held together with little intercellular material. In nearly all animal tissue, specialized junctions provide both structural and functional links between its individual cell. Three types of cell junction are found in the epithelium and the other tissue. These are called as tight, adhering, and gap junction. Tight junction help to stop substance from leaking across a tissue. Adhering junction perform cementing to keep neighboring cells together. Gap junction facilitate the cells to communicate with each other by connecting the cytoplasm of adjoining cells for rapid transfer of ions, small molecules, and sometimes big molecules. 7.12 Connective tissue. Connective tissue are most abundant and widely distributed in the body of complex animals. They are named connective tissue because of their special function of linking and supporting other tissue organ of the body. They range from the soft connective tissue to specialized types which include cartilage, bone, adipose, and blood. In all connective tissue except blood, the cells secrete fibers of structural protein called collagen or elastin. The fibers provide strength, elasticity, and flexibility to the tissue. These cells also secrete modified polysaccharides which accumulate between cells and fibers and act as a matrix, that means ground substance. Connective tissue are classified into three types: loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, specialized connective tissue. Loose connective tissue has cells and fibers loosely arranged in a semi-fluid ground substance. For example, areolar tissue present beneath the skin, that is given in figure 7.4. Often it serves as a support framework for epithelium. It contains fibroblast cells that produce and secrete fiber, macrophages, and mast cells. Adipose tissue is another type of loose connective tissue located mainly beneath the skin. The cells of this tissue are specialized to store fat. The excess of nutrients which are not used by immediately are converted into fats and are stored in this tissue. Fibers and fibroblasts are compactly packed in the dense connective tissue. Orientation of fibers show a regular or irregular pattern and are called dense regular and dense irregular tissue. In the dense regular connective tissue, the collagen fibers are present in rows between many parallel bundles of fibers. Tendons which attach skeletal muscle to bone and ligament which attach one bone to another are example of these tissue. Dense irregular connective tissue has fibroblasts and many fibers, mostly collagen, that are oriented differently. This tissue is present in the skin. Cartilage. Cartilage bones and bloods are various type of specialized connective tissue. The intercellular material of cartilage is solid and pliable and resist compression. Cells of this tissue, that is called as chondrocytes, are enclosed in a small cavity within the matrix secreted by them, that is given in figure 7.6a. Most of the cartilage is vertebrates. Embryos are replaced by bones in adults. Cartilage is present in the tip of nose, outer ear joints, between adjacent bone of the vertebral column, limbs, and hands in adults. Bones have a hard and non-pliable ground substance rich in calcium salt and collagen fiber which give bone its strength, that is given in figure 7.6b. It is the main tissue that provides structural frame to the body. Bones support and protect softer tissue and organ. The bone cell is called as osteocytes are present in the spaces called lacunae. Limb bones such as the long bone of the leg serve weight bearing function. They also interact with skeletal muscle attached to them to bring about movement. The bone marrow is in some bones is the site of production of blood cells. Blood is a fluid connective tissue containing plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets that is given in figure 7.6c. It is the main circulating fluid that helps in the transport of various substances. You will learn more about blood. You will learn more about blood in chapter 17 and 18. 7.13 Muscles tissue. Each muscle is made of many long cylindrical fibers arranged in parallel arrays. These fibers are composed of numerous fine fibrils called myofibrils. Muscle fiber contract, shorten in response to stimulation, then relax, lengthen, and return to their uncontracted state in a coordinated fashion. Their action moves the body to adjust to the changes in the environment and to maintain the position of the various parts of the body. In general, muscle play an active role in all the movement of the body. Muscles are of three types: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. Skeletal muscle is closely attached to skeletal bones in a type muscles such as the biceps. Striated stripped skeletal muscle fibers are bundled together in a parallel fashion that is given in figure 7.7. A sheath of tough connective tissue encloses several bundles of muscle fiber. You will learn more about this chapter in chapter 20. In the smooth muscles, fibers taper at both end, that is called as fusiform, and do not show striations. Cell junction hold them together and they are bundled together in a connective tissue sheath. The wall of internal organs such as the blood vessels, stomach, and intestine contain this type of muscle tissue. Smooth muscles are involuntary as their functioning cannot be directly controlled. We usually are not able to make it contract merely by thinking about it as we can do with skeletal muscles. Cardiac muscles tissue is a contractile tissue present only in the heart. Cell junction fuse the plasma membrane of cardiac muscle cells and make them stick together. Communication junction in intercalated discs at some points at some fusion points allow the cell to contract as a unit. That is, when one cell receives signal to contract, its neighbors are also stimulated to contract. 7.14 Neural tissue exert the greatest control over over the body's responsiveness to changing condition. Neurons, the unit of neural system, are excitable cells that is given in figure 7.8. The neuroglial cell, which constitute the rest of the neural system, protect and support neurons. Neuroglia make up more than one half of the volume of the neural tissue in our body. When a neuron is suitably stimulated, an electrical disturbance is generated which swiftly travels along its plasma membrane. Arrival of the disturbance at the neuron's ending or output zone trigger events that may cause stimulation or inhibition of adjacent neurons and other cells. You will study the details in chapter 21. 7.2 Organ and organ system. The basic tissue mentioned above organized to form organs, which in turn associate to form an organ system in the multicellular organism. Such an organization is essential for more efficient and better coordinated activity of millions of cells constituting an organism. Each organ in our body is made up of one or more type of tissue. For example, our heart consists of all the four types of tissue, that is epithelial, connective, muscular, and neural. We also notice after some careful study that the complexity in organ and organ system display certain discernible trend. This discernible trend is called evolutionary trend. You will study the chapter in class 12. You are being introduced to morphology and anatomy of three organisms at different evolutionary level to show their organization and functioning. Morphology refers to a study of form or externally visible feature. In the case of plants or microbes, the term morphology precisely means only this. In case of animals, this refers to the external appearance of the organ or parts of the body. The word anatomy conventionally is used for the study of morphology of internal organ. In the animal, you will learn the morphology and anatomy of earthworm, You are being to introduced to morphology and anatomy of this organism at different evolutionary level to show their organization and functioning. Morphology refers to study of forms or externally visible feature. In the case of plants or microbes, the term morphology precisely means only this. In case of animals, this refers to the external appearance of the organs or parts of the body. The word anatomy conventionally is used for the study of morphology of internal organs in the animals. You will learn the morphology and anatomy of earthworm, cockroach and frog representing invertebrates and vertebrates. 7.3 Earthworm is a reddish brown terrestrial invertebrate that inhabit the upper layer of the moist soil. During daytime they live in burrows made by boring and swelling of the soil. In the gardens they can be traced by their facial deposit known as worm casting. The common Indian earthworm are Ferretima and Lumbricus. 7.31 Morphology. Earthworm have a long cylindrical body. The body is divided into more than 100 short segments which are similar metamers, about 100 to 120 in number. The dorsal surface of the body is marked by dark median mid-dorsal line, dorsal blood vessels along the longitudinal axis of the body. The ventral surface is distinguished by the presence of genital opening pores anterior. It consists of the mouth and the prostomium, a lobe which serve as a covering for the mouth and as a wedge to surface open cracks in the soil into which the earthworm may crawl. The prostomium is sensory in function. The first body segment is called the peristomium buccal segment, which contain the mouth in a mature worm. Segment 14-16 are covered by a prominent dark band of glandular tissue called the clitellum. Thus, the body is divisible into three prominent region: preclitellar, clitellar and post-clitellar segment, that is given in figure 7.9. Four pairs of spermatical aperture are situated on the ventrolateral side of the intersegmental grooves, that is fifth to ninth segment. A single female genital pore is present in the mid-ventral line of the 14th segment. A pair of male genital pores are present on the ventrolateral side of the 18th segment. Numerous minute pores called nephridophores open on the surface of the body in each body segment except the first and last and clitellum.